Are there any changes that you want to see in your community or even in society? Do you want to be an activist and promote change? Like many other activists, Cesar Chavez wanted to see positive changes in his community. In his case, labor reformations. Caesar was a farmer himself, and he wanted to see future generations of farmers, as well as current farmers, to improve their life. He wanted to improve the conditions of farm workers because they were treated unfairly through nonviolent means, such as boycotting, protesting, and hunger strikes. He was a successful leader because he gained many supporters through his morals, and he knew what farmers deserved because he was a farmer himself. Cesar Chavez's nonviolent nature appealed to many supporters. When he grew up, his mother enforced nonviolence through religious stories about Saint Francis the Friar. He was taught not to fight back, and eventually it grew into him. Nonviolence is something he naturally grew up with, and nonviolence is not a characteristic of someone. Nonviolence is not a characteristic that develops overnight, but it gradually develops. He was able to utilize his trait to fight for a cause. Supporters were drawn to his nonviolent nature because it reflects what qualities they want from a leader. Would you want someone to purely act on impulses and abuse your power, or would you want someone to fight for what is right without harming others? Cesar Chavez was able to gain support from the farmers because he experienced what they experienced. At an early age, Cesar Chavez had to quit school because he had to help out on the farm with his family. This was very common with farming families because they needed as many hands as possible on the farms just so they could get food on the table. Chavez says that some workers don't just want money, but they wanted a better quality of life. Money was not the biggest and only problem on farms. The conditions on the farms were very harsh, and an example is that they lacked sanitation. Families worked to barely feed themselves and could not afford quality things like education. Children rarely receive education, and this created a cycle where future generations would have to stay on the farms and repeat the same misfortune over and over again. Most farmers didn't even know about labor unions because they had little education. Cesar Chavez wanted future generations of farmers to live better lives with more opportunity than his generation did. Cesar Chavez set great examples for others. He was a strong advocate for nonviolence, but it really influenced many others, even the farm owners. At a farm picketing, one of the farmers cursed at him. One of the farmers hit him and cursed at him, "Go ahead, hit me. I can't hit you back if you don't hit me." Cesar Chavez and the protesters didn't hit back, and the farm owner was not expecting that, and he got really confused. The farm owner chose not to hit again. His morals and nonviolent ways had so much influence that even someone that disagreed with his views started to embrace his morals. Chavez also went on several hunger strikes to further support nonviolence and tell farmers that there are more important things to fight against, such as the use of pesticides. Chavez's actions and words had the power to influence many, including people who originally opposed his views. Chavez fought to improve the farming community through nonviolent means. He gained support of many because of his morals. He also shared life experience and proved that you could fight for what you want through peaceful means. You can make changes in your community, big or small.